Hello, coloring friends. Welcome to my channel and welcome new subscribers. I've had a few new subscribers over the month of March, and I would just like to welcome you all to the channel. So I'm here today to share with you what I've colored for the month of March. And I think I have one work in progress. So let's go ahead and just dive on in. We'll go ahead and start with the mythographic books that I have here in front of me. I did one page out of each of these books. Now, I believe each one of these is a color along up on my channel if you are interested. I'll probably have some links in the description, but if I don't get to every link, just check my channel and you can click on videos and it lists all of my most recent videos there. So let's go ahead and start with Mythographic Avary. So out of this book, I colored this lady here. I used, what did I use for her? Okay, so I used Polychromos pencils, and I believe her skin and, her skin, her hair, and all of the gold work here was based with my Ohuhu alcohol markers. And then with Polychromos over the top, I used white Posca for the accents. And then I did white Posca on the feathers, but then I went over it with a really light, kind of a turquoise blue Tombow water-based pen. So it kind of, it wasn't a pen, Tombow marker, that's it. So it kind of toned down the white of the Posca and just gave it kind of a really light blue look to it. I could have used like a Thule Art paint pen, but I hadn't tried that technique yet with doing an overlay with the Tombow markers, and so I wanted to give that a try. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. And the background for this page was done using, first I did a first layer of Distress Oxides, and then I did a second layer of Distress. The light layer is the Distress Oxide, and then the second layer over the top of that and around the edge is Distress Inks. And I used one of these little guys to apply the Distress Inks and the Oxide with. I'm really loving that technique these days. I've been using it a lot for applying Distress Inks. Now I know that, you can get all of the different brushes and ink pads and all of that, and I have all of those things, but I find with using the makeup applicator, because it is small and it's easy to get into all of the little tight spaces, and then you can kind of really get this kind of a nice textured look. So that's why I've been really enjoying using the makeup applicators. All right, so that is it from Avary. Let's move on to Cosmic Spirit. And I did one page out of this book as well. And this, oh gosh, this one is my, what did I title? Pyramid Portal. And I don't know if you can see that gorgeous shimmer all over the page. So I sprayed a, what is it? It's a sheer shimmer sparkle spray all over the top. And that's what gives it kind of that magical shimmery look. And then for For the blue flames here, I used a Coliro watercolor, kind of a metallic pearl color, watercolor over the top. But what I did, backing up a little bit, is I based the portal or kind of galaxy looking thing back here with my Ohuhu markers, and then went over with white pencil around the line work here, and then over the top of that I used my white Posca pen, and I used Derwent ink tints for the stones and the rocks and the ground cover down here. And then I think I also based the beetle and the pyramid in the center with my Ohuhu alcohol markers, and then polychromos for everything else, and also on top of the distress inks, no, not distress inks, the Derwent ink tints on the stones in the background here. So kind of a lot of supplies used on this page. And yes, one other supply that I almost forgot. I don't know if you can see, but these little bubbles here have some added glitter to them, and that is a folk art. I think it's folk art, or maybe some other brand of like a clear glitter acrylic paint. So yeah, there was a lot kind of thrown on this page, but I had a lot of fun with it and definitely happy with how it turned out. Okay, and on to the next mythographic book, which is Fairy Wonderland. And for this book, I did, this one here, yes. So this was a buddy color with the lovely Erica from Elm Colors. I think she had this, she was working on this on one of her weekend WIP videos, and we both had a little bit of issues with this. Yeah, I'm not really liking how this circle turned out. I really didn't know what to do with it. But you know, in hindsight, I think I would have done some things a little bit differently, maybe made all of this more yellow instead of this purple color. I don't know, but it's done, and you know, I'm happy with it overall. What did I use on here? I used Derwent ink tints for the ground here as kind of a base. Did I use any Ohuhus? Oh yes, I did. I used Ohuhu alcohol markers to base the groundhog, the fur and his skin. Let's see, where else did I use it? Oh, and the skin of the elf here. I used Pablo's. I think, yeah, I used Pablo pencils on this one. I wanted to see how the Pablos worked on this paper. They work great. So far, I think my favorite pencils for these mythographic books is, I like the Pablos, I like the Brute Fooner squares, and polychromos weren't too bad either. So yeah, there's several different pencils that I find that I like in these books. But yeah, overall, this page turned out really nice. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of shimmering glitter on the hedgehog's crystals there, and that is with Wink of Stella, a clear glitter brush pen. Oh, I also did his wings too with that. So yeah, overall, I like how this page turned out. It was a bit of a challenge with this weird kind of circle light source. That's one thing I am not too fond of. A lot of these mythographic books have that, and it's just figuring out how, you know, how to deal with that. But I do love these mythographic books. I've been getting quite a few. I think I just got Shangri-La as well, and I haven't colored out of that one either. I don't have all of the mythographic ones, but I think I have most of the ones that have come out over the last 2 years, maybe? Yeah. Okay, so on with the next set of pages. And these are all from Hannah Lynn's Enchanted Faces pocket size book. I have the digital version, so I like to print them out on, you know, a better quality paper than what comes with the books when you buy them off of Amazon. I don't like struggling with Amazon paper if I don't have to. It kind of, for me, it just kind of takes the joy out of coloring. I just, you know. Anyway, so let's start with this one here. This is Janessa. And so as many of you might know, Hannah Lynn always names each of her pages. So that's where I'm getting these names from. And I just like to write it on the back of the page so I know what it's called, especially when I'm making videos for them. This one I did make a speed coloring video. So that is up on my channel right now. And I used my Arctic's acrylic markers for the background on this page. I think those were in a recent haul video that I did. And this was my first time using them on a coloring page. And I just used the one color, just filled it in there. And it was you can see that it's very opaque. And the color is really nice. And it was easy to apply. And yeah, so it worked out quite nicely for this page. I used my Prismacolors, and I'm pretty sure, yes, I based the moon and her skin with my Ohuhu alcohol markers with Prismacolors over the top. And I used, some more of that clear acrylic glitter paint, and I used it on her, I might have done stickles for her wings, but I know I used that clear acrylic glitter paint on the moon. I don't know if you can see it. Try and get the reflection there. And then her wings are stickles. Yeah. And accents with white Posca. So yeah, this page turned out really cute. I also did this one, and her name is Natsumi. This one is almost all based with Ohuhu alcohol markers. The background is Ohuhu alcohol markers. And then I did Prismacolors over the top of that. Oh yeah, and for all of these pages, I like to use the glaze jelly roll for the eyelashes. It just kind of gives a little extra something there, you know, kind of a raised glossy effect. So yeah, that's what I used for her eyelashes. And this one, I don't think I didn't even hardly use any white Posca for. So all of these, well, not all of these. This one was in March, and then I think these two were like the last day or the last couple of days of February when I worked on them, but I had already filmed what I colored in February, so I don't think they made it to my February colored pages. But yeah, this one too, based with Ohuhu and Prismacolor pencils over the top. And I used some stickles here in her hair for her hair ties. And these little dots here on the sleeves of her dress. Yeah. So very happy with how those turned out. Oh, and I almost forgot, all of these pages are done as a continuous buddy color. Each month we pick out different pages to do for that month with the lovely ladies from our Enchanted Faces group over on Instagram. This one was picked out for the month, but these two I was catching up on previous months that I didn't get around to finishing. I think this was for February, but then this one was one from like last summer that I didn't get around to doing until now. Okay, so the next book I worked out of was Hannah Carlson's Summer Nights, and I did this page here in the back. So yeah, for this page, I was messing around with my Kuretake watercolors, which I love to use for backgrounds. And this was just kind of playing around and experimenting with a tag that has been going around on Instagram called hashtag Galaxy, Galaxy White Lines. And I'll put the tag on the screen there. And if you're interested in seeing that over on Instagram, it'll make it easier for you to find. And so for this page, yes, I used my Kuretake watercolors and my Prismacolor pencil, some white Winsor & Newton ink for the splatter effect in the background. Also, I used the gold here is my Coliro metallic gold watercolor paint applied with a really, really tiny paintbrush. And then I also used that for splatters in the background as well. So that was kind of fun. Did some doodling on the page and just really had fun with it. No expectations whatsoever, just wanting to have fun. And then, of course, if you are following my channel, you know that I am trying to finish Seasons, the whole book, by the end of this year. So I try to do about 3 pages a month. And so yeah, I did get 3 pages done in March. So yay, I met my goal with that. And the first one was a double page spread here. And this is also, the background is also done with my Kuretake watercolors, which I absolutely love, and Prismacolor pencils. And what else did I use? Oh, I used a black Ohuhu regular water-based marker for the black accents. And then for the crown, that turned out really nice. I don't know if you can see that kind of glitter effect there on the metalwork of the crown. So I was trying to hide some little boo-boos that I had with the watercolor kind of ran. I used masking fluid, but the masking fluid that I had was clear, so I couldn't see exactly where it was applied. And so there was some watercolor that got in the area of the crown, and I was trying to cover it up. And so that's why I went ahead and filled in the crown with pencil work on the inside and did the black marker. And then over top of the black marker on the metalwork here, I used I think it was my dual metallic silver glitter gel pen. And that worked really well. I was really happy. I was just kind of experimenting. And that was one experiment that turned out good. Sometimes they don't always turn out good, you know. But you never know until you try. So yes, and lots of Tule Art paint pens for accents, white Posca. And I think this is my favorite page for the month of March. Definitely going to go into my favorite pages for 2024. I'm going to try and do a video at the end of the year for all of my favorite pages, probably my top 10 favorites of 2024, and I'm sure this one will be in there. All right, so the next page that I completed out of Seasons was this page here. This was another page that I was doing for the hashtag Galaxy White Lines over on Instagram. And I just love how this page turned out. There was a little bit more experimenting going on with this page as well. So the background is the same Kuretake watercolors. And this time I wanted to try the salt effect with watercolors. It's more of a watercolor technique that a lot of watercolorists do. And I had seen it, you know, a while back, and I was like, oh, that would be fun to try. And then when I was trying to think of what I was going to do with this page, because honestly, I was pretty stumped for a few days. I'm like, I have no idea what I want to do with this page. And it occurred to me to do the Galaxy White Lines thing, but then also to do that effect, to try that effect, to kind of make it look like the crystal was glowing. And so, yeah, that turned out really nice. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It was pretty easy to do. If you'd like to see the process video, it is up on my channel right now. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I used my Prismacolor pencils. After the watercolor had dried, then I used my Prismacolor pencils. And this time, instead of my white Posca, I used this Artistro paint marker pen. I had it in my supplies for a while, and I hadn't gotten around to using it. And I was like, well, I'll just give that a try too. And I was really happy with the results. I did have to go over some of this a couple of times. I think in the video it shows me just going over it once because I didn't want to be repetitive, and it was a speed coloring video, so I edited that out. But I did have to go over it a couple times in some areas. Also, I went over the wings after everything was dry. I applied some more of the same stickles in that twinkle color. I'm really loving that one right now. Anyway, I used that on the wings. I don't know if you can see the shimmer and the glitter on the wings. Yeah, really happy with how that page turned out. And then the last page from Seasons was this one here. This lady with the tulips. I used my typical mediums of Neo 2s for the background, Prismacolor pencils. I think for the splatters, I used my gold Coliro watercolor, and then little dots of some kind of coppery acrylic paint to kind of break it up there and add some more interest to the page. So yeah, that page. Oh, and I think I used I used some Coliro watercolors in over top as an overlay over the top of the Neo Color 2s in the background as well. So you can kind of see that kind of coppery or gold overlay. I think it was a bronze maybe. Anyway, one of those metallic colors. So that is it for Seasons. Okay, and so the next couple of books are Mandalas that I worked out of this month. This one by Camellia Angel Kova, Mandalas for Relaxation and Meditation. This was my speed coloring video for this month. And it was, if I can get to it, it was this page here. And I actually followed a color palette from the Color Cube. And yeah, so I used one of those little cards. I don't have it on my table right now. I think I put it away. But the Color Cube palette, and it had some gorgeous colors, and I thought it'd be perfect for this mandala here. So I don't know if you can see in the mandala there on some accents, I used my Ohuhu glitter marker. Oh, there, maybe it's catching it there. I used my Ohuhu glitter marker, which I really love those pens for doing accents on mandalas. They're perfect. And I think I used also my Ohuhu water-based markers for this page as well. Okay, and the next book, I kind of went crazy in this book. This is 125 mandalas from Coloring Book Cafe. And I did 4 mandalas, or I did 3, and then I haven't finished 4. And the 4th one is a work in progress. Right now I haven't finished it yet. So this is the first one here. And I just love this color combination. The oranges and peaches and purples and pinks. Oh my goodness. That's so beautiful. And then the little sparkly bits there. Again, Ohuhu glitter markers. Okay, and so the next page out of this book was this one here. It's kind of a Celtic version of a mandala here with some greens and pinks and oranges and a little pop of that turquoise blue, which again is also the Ohuhu glitter markers and the Ohuhu regular water-based markers. I pretty much use that for all the mandalas this month. So, and my next page is right here. The blues and the pinks and the purples just look so pretty, especially with that silver glitter marker. Okay, and the last one I am still currently working on. I've got my color combinations here on my scrap piece of paper. And this one is really pretty too. I'm using blues, golds, and peaches. So I still have yet to finish that one, but I'll probably be finishing it this week. Okay, and the last page is a work in progress out of Anastasia Koldareva's Mysteria. And it is this page right here. So I was struggling a little bit, if you've seen some of my other completed pages videos recently, with coloring skin in these books like this. Okay, this is the one that I showed before. This one I had done a base with pan pastels and then went over with my Prismacolors, and it just ended up being kind of a mess. I got too much medium on the page, on the paper, and the tooth was just full, it wasn't taking anymore, and then I started getting wax build up with the Prismas. Yeah. So this one has turned out much better, and I actually based it with my Ohuhu alcohol marker. And then I went over the Ohuhu with my Black Widows. So I have Black Widow pencils, the 2 skin tone sets. There's a light skin tone set and a dark skin tone set. And I pulled from both sets to make this really pretty medium tone. And I was just really happy with how this turned out. And yeah, I can't wait to finish it. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to, or the colors that I'm going to use for the shell. I think something similar to her lip color in the shell, but I'm not sure about that. or what I'm going to do for the background yet. I really want to use like Derwent ink tints and make a water background. But yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to do that with this circle yet. I need to find some inspiration pages on Pinterest. I have a whole, board of pictures from these books that I need to pull from. So yeah, so that is it for my completed pages and a couple of WIPs there that I have for the month of March. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite page was. And yeah, so for April, I have a lot of like separate things going on outside of coloring. I have a garden that I'm going to be starting now that it's past all the freezing. So I will probably be working a lot in my garden, and the yard really needs some attention. So I don't know if I'll get quite as many videos out in April as I have over the last few months. But I will definitely at least one per week. So just wanted to give everybody a heads up there. And thank you for watching. And until next time, happy coloring. Bye now.